Hello, I'm Annalise, and if you've seen any of my earlier videos, you'll know that I'm trying to read one children's book every week for the whole of 2018. So I'm here to talk to you about the book that I read last week, which is Battle of the Beetles by M.G. Leonard. When I first started reading this book, I felt quite sad because it is the last book in the Beetle trilogy. But now that I've read it, I am extremely happy and satisfied because this book comes to a wonderful conclusion. It rounds up the whole trilogy and it left me feeling as if I had been on an epic adventure with the three of them combined, and also as if I had attained something, some level of brilliance, just by reading all three of these books. As you can expect, and as we found with the other two books, it's full of quite a bit of peril. It's an amazing adventure. Most of it takes place in the Amazon rainforest. You can expect to find lots and lots of beetles, not just the normal gang that we find of beetles, but also some new ones. There are dino beetles. I don't think that's giving too much away. And as it says on the back, Frankenstein beetles. I definitely think I can mention those. As you can imagine, Lucretia Cutter is terrifyingly wonderful again. And one thing that really took me by surprise when I read this book is that I found myself feeling a little bit sympathetic towards some of the things that Lucretia Cutter was saying, some of her motivations behind her actions. I definitely can't condone her methodology, but the things that she was saying I felt rang true. So it made me believe that maybe in that exoskeleton deep down inside, Lucretia had a human heart that was beating and full of love. Sadly, this didn't turn out, as you can imagine, because she is an evil villain. But I was nonetheless surprised by that twist in her character and the fact that I was able to identify with so much of what she was saying. I think the overall message of this book towards the end is basically be kind. Be kind to each other, love each other, and love your planet. Love your beetles. And get out there and do whatever you can to encourage your planet to thrive. I read an interesting little tweet from M.G. Leonard earlier this week saying that her next book is going to focus on the environment because she likes to write about things that she's passionate about. So I'm really, really, really looking forward to seeing what comes next from her because she's such an amazing writing talent and I've enjoyed and loved all of her books so far. So cool things to look out for. And I want to talk to you quickly about what I'm going to read next week. So I'm going to be reading The Cloak of Feathers by Nigel Quinlan. I got this book in the post this week. It was sent to me care of Nigel and his publisher, so thank you very much for that. I'm going to be reading it this week and talking to you about it next week. I thought I'd just read the blurb out on the back very quickly so you know what it's all about. Every 100 years in the magical town of No Mill Down, fairies, known as the Good Folk, join the villagers for a great festival. It's a ruckus, beautiful, enchanted celebration. Well, it's supposed to be. Except every time the luckless Brian Nolan helps to organise the great festival, it's a disappointment. Worse, this time the folk princess has been stolen. Can Brian thwart the princess's evil captor in time to avoid the wrath of the folk king and queen and finally deliver a festival to remember? So I'm excited about reading this and talking to you about it next week. And I'm also excited about posting up my Beetle Boy book along with Battle of the Beetles and Beetle Queen and sending them off to my book buddy school, which is Lansdowne Primary in Cardiff. And if you want to learn more about the book buddy scheme, have a look on Maz Evans's Twitter page. I'll put a little link as well because she's got a lovely website up and running, trying to encourage people to become book buddies. So it's very exciting. I will be back next week to tell you all about The Cloak of Feathers. Until then, keep reading and enjoy your books.